Yo, 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 what is up for the next episode of Flip Your 20 Friday, Christmas edition. As per usual, you're on YouTube, like, share, subscribe if these videos are helping you and the people you care about. It's the whole reason we're doing them in the first place. So before we get started, it was Christmas Eve. I'm recording this on Christmas Eve 2020. It was Christmas Eve 2019. I sat up here in my home office and did, I believe I recorded 8 videos, 4 Mondays, 4 Fridays, to get ready to go. And so it's just interesting, a year later, who knew? So, just a cool memory. All right, so today's topic is, should I risk it? Should I risk it? And here's where this came from. So as I've said in multiple videos, sometimes I know what I want to talk about that week. Sometimes I wait for signs to come to me, or sometimes I just am like, what happened today? And then I go from there. So today's is, should I risk it? Because one of my friends, all throughout the pandemic, we would go on, we would call it Pandemic Adventure on Fridays and just get lost in the woods and have fun. And so today we were able to go on a nice run in a local trail. But here's the thing. Last night it was forecasted that we were going to get like a lot of rain, crazy winds. It was going to be warm. It was like I think it was almost 50 today, high 40s. So I texted her yesterday. I said, hey, if it's warm, rainy, and windy, are you still in? And she said yes. And I was like, boom. So get friends who are cool. So it was so windy and pouring rain. I actually slept downstairs on my couch last night because the wind up when it's super windy, it feels so loud to me. Maybe it's the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy and me. I'm like, oh my gosh, is my house going to pick up and blow away? So I slept on the couch. Like, that's how windy. And then I woke up this morning and the wind and the rain are pounding against the house. But she already said yes. If she committed, I'm committed. Like, we're going. And so should we risk it? Yeah. My answer to most of those questions, yeah. And here's why. I don't call it karma. We hardly had any rain when we went. It was raining when I picked her up, kind of started to stop a little bit. And then when we got there, like a little bit of drizzle. And I think there was 30 seconds, a minute where it started to rain. I was like, well, the first 30 minutes were great. We lucked out. The next 30 might be a downpour, but whatever. It's an adventure. And then it stopped. It like rained for a minute. And it just got me thinking, and that's a simple example, but it got me thinking it would have been very easy to say, should we risk it? Because the weather, I don't know what this is. I've never done this before, back and forth. I don't know. So, should we risk it? We could have said no. I could have sat on the couch and had coffee and enjoyed myself. But I also know it's worth the risk because the payoff is I get to hang out with my friend. I get to get some exercise, which I like being physically fit, but mentally and emotionally, exercise is my like saving grace. So it would have been easy to cop out. And the should I risk it usually comes from a place of uncertainty. Or I believe, and I learned this from Tony Robbins, some people will call it fear. Like, I'm afraid to go. We might get like soaking wet and freezing or whatever. You're not afraid. Like, there are some things to be afraid of. That, like this made up thing, I'm afraid to do the thing. You're not afraid. You're simply uncertain. So should I take the risk? If there's going to be a likelihood of a payoff, either immediately or somewhere down the road, yeah, take the risk. Please take the risk. We have so many people playing it safe, and I don't mean like safe from COVID. The way people read into things sometimes. I mean, we play it safe of like playing small and staying in the box and never doing anything outside of our comfort zone, which is gross. Hashtag don't be gross. So should you risk asking the person out? Yeah. Are you afraid of asking them out? No. Stop telling yourself that excuse. You're simply uncertain of their response. And if they say no, that might you'll feel rejection or embarrassed. And those are cruddy feelings. Okay, but let's just own the reality of it. You're not afraid. Like if they say no, you're going to spontaneously combust. Like that's not a thing. Unless Neil deGrasse Tyson says it is. But if he doesn't, that's not a thing. Right, but we use fear to hold us back where it's really uncertainty. So should you take the risk when you're uncertain of the result? Most of the time, yeah. And I'm not talking about crazy, high risk, dangerous, life threatening things. I'm not talking about that, obvi. I mean, when I lost my teaching job twice, I took the risk of joining an online course to learn how to become a youth speaker. And it cost a lot of money at the time. Money I frankly really didn't have. But I thought, is this worth the risk? Like, what if I don't do this? What if I do this? Thank goodness I took the risk into a deep, like, dive of uncertainty. And thank goodness I didn't know everything that it took to become a youth speaker, because I don't know if I would have done it. There was a lot of things I didn't even know. So it was worth the risk. Was it worth the risk when I went to counseling and had to learn how to become vulnerable, learn how to trust people? Yeah. Was it hard? Yeah. There's a lot of singing in this episode. I don't know. I had some cookies and a cupcake today, so it might be the sugar buzz. But is it worth it? I don't know. Should I go to counseling? It's going to be hard. I don't want to pay for it. It's out of pocket. Yeah, it's worth the risk. Is it worth putting yourself out there to trust people, or I'll just say to trust people, because something I've historically been terrible at. Yeah, because now my life is just so full of joy because I've taken so many uncertain risks. I'm not calling it fear because I don't believe that. If I'm chased by a bear, that's fear. But I'm talking about this fear, this made up excuse of, I was going to play safe. Like, man, shut your face playing safe. So even now, in the holidays and the New Year's coming up, and we all reflect, oh, what I wish I would have done, or I did do, and the new year, and resolutions, don't even get me started on those. Goals, yes. Resolutions, but this is a great time to say, for you, what risk would pay off for you if you just did it? You've been thinking about it for so long. And you've been telling yourself you're afraid, and that is my sarcastic tone. You're not afraid. You're uncertain of the result. It might work, it might not work, it might be an epic win, an epic fail, and everywhere else on that spectrum. But if there's the potential for a positive benefit or result to you, to evolve as a person, as a business person, as a student, as an educator, as a parent, as a sibling, as an athlete, as an artist, if there is potential to evolve and to grow and to find joy, then yeah, take the risk. Yep, take the risk. Otherwise, it becomes a year later and you look back and you're still in your little box, playing it safe, and you're gross. Hashtag don't be gross. Just like how I started this video. Christmas Eve a year ago, I was sitting in this, before I knew I needed a stand-up desk, because we were going to be recording a lot of videos. But I was sitting in the chair right here, having no idea how to do videos. I had notes in front of me, I'm glad I took that risk into uncertainty of, I don't know, will anybody watch these? I'm glad I said yes to that. As I mentioned in a recent video, it has given me comfort on camera to just go and to be able to do tons of presentations since March or April because of it. Taking this risk of doing these videos, yeah, it was worth it. Like, exponentially. Same is true for you. Should you take the risk? Yep. And I hope you do. And I'd love you to share with me what you did and the result. Doesn't always have to be a win or an immediate win. You gotta grind it out sometimes. But if it's worth it to you, then it's worth it. Merry Christmas to you if you celebrate Christmas. Hope this last week for you is, I hope it's whatever you want it to be and need it to be. We have 2 more videos left, one Monday, one Friday, and we'll call it a wrap on 2020. So take care of yourself, take care of each other, flip your 20. Peace.